live right now, right?
We're live.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, as always, let's touch upon our personal lives while we wait for the ever dwindling number of people. I feel like the first couple times we did this, we actually had like pretty lively chats, and then just
Yeah.
the last couple have just been dead. So,
Yeah. See, it seems like similar number of viewers. It's like,
mhm,
it'll get to like 4 or 5 sometimes, but
yeah,
no one's talking. Speak up,
nobody's
folks.
talking. I also actually want to. I'm pulling this up. So I'm watching. It seems like okay. So I'm watching this both on like I am monitoring it on my phone on one side, and then I got the live stream up on YouTube on my TV. So
Oh, so it's
so
you. You're half our viewers.
I'm two of our viewers. Yes. Uh,
Great.
so how was your week? How's your week been, Joe?
Uh all right. Probably better than last time. I think last time I was complaining about my landlord and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um but finally got them to come over and fix the goddamn HVAC. And it seems to not be just raining water onto the ground anymore. So
It's
um,
always nice.
it's promising. Yeah.
It's always nice
Um,
when water is not leaking in your apartment.
yeah. But yeah, like Philly's cool. And like we really like it here when we're not worried about a million things. I got my fucking car in order. I've got my
Mm-hmm.
registration. I've got my new license. Like,
I'm
all the
knocking on wood for
fucking
you.
yeah. Yeah. Make no mistake. Shit's gonna go wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, it's coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Um it's cool. I've got friends nearby. Like, you know, friends having kids, hanging out with babies and shit. So
Yeah, man.
not too bad.
It's kind of funny because I have written 2 kids books,
Oh yeah.
and I'm I am the oldest. Did you know this? I'm the oldest of 7 kids.
Yeah,
You
I
knew
think
that,
you
right?
mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm the oldest, and 6 of them are boys. So I'm the oldest of 6 boys, 7 kids total. So I can like talk to kids, no problem.
This is the way
But
you have one sister in that mix.
I have one sister. She was
Damn.
adopted. Fun fact: 6 boys from the same 2 parents. They gave up on biologically creating a girl, so they went and adopted my sister, who was adopted from Kazakhstan and
Wow.
is Russian by blood. Yes, that is correct.
Damn. Kazakhstan seems like a cool place. I think it was like during the last Olympics, there were a lot of like high profile Kazaki athletes
I wouldn't know.
yeah. But yeah, it was like more was like coming into the mainstream about Kazakhstan. It was like, oh, it's a
Mm-hmm.
cool fucking country.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, so being the oldest of all those kids, you would think that I would like kids more than I do. I mean, and like I said, I can talk to them. Like I just did a Comic-Con last weekend, which is a fun transition into my week. I did Plastic City Comic-Con, which was amazing, which was the best day at a con I've had yet. This is my third con. The first con was Wicked Con last October, where it was my first con ever. I learned a bunch of things. It was the type of situation where I feel like at the end of the day, at the end of that day, if I could hit a reset button and start the day over, I would have, because I really felt like I had learned. Like there was certain shit I didn't learn until like 1 or 2 p.m. that day, where I was thinking like, oh, if I talked to that person I talked to at 10:30 at 2 with the knowledge that the 2 p.m. knowledge I had, right? I would have
Mm,
been able to probably sell a book, right? And I feel
okay.
like every one of these I get a little bit better at it. And we kind of revamp. things, and it's me and my wife who do this, and my wife is amazing, and I would not be able to do this without her. She like doesn't even let me set up my fucking table. she, she just straight up just, I'll do it, I'll make it look nice. You know, you suck. You suck it.
Oh yeah.
You suck
I have a I have a wife too. I know how it goes.
Yeah, I'm a dumb man. But I made the art that's on the table.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wrote it and storyboarded it, and then I paid way more talented people to draw it for me. But so Wicked Comic Con was a great experience. I made a little bit of money. I think I made my table fees back. So I broke even on the cost of actually getting there. Did not break even on all of the copies of the book that I had ordered in. Western Mass Con was the second one I did. That was last April. That was a 2-day con. We actually got a hotel room for 2 nights. And that was a cool experience. And again, I learned a lot of stuff, and I made a couple like cool friends. But as a con, it was the first one ever. And I kind of knew that I was in trouble, that it was going to be kind of a letdown earlier in the month when I did my friend Keith Gleason's Indie Comics Relay show. And I mentioned that I was doing Western Mass Con at the end of the month. And everybody on the show was just like, what is that? And this is Indie Comics Relay. Keith Gleason is the guy who runs Plastic City, which I did last Saturday. And these people are the con guys, and they're all New England based. So these are the New England con guys. And less than 30 days from your big con that's happening at the MGM Springfield in Connecticut, or no, in Western Mass. I think it's Springfield, Mass. Yeah. So it's the MGM Springfield, right? A New England con. You were trying to launch a new 2-day New England con, and you fucked up your promo to the point where the New England con guys you were not on their radar. And that was a little disappointing. And it wasn't just me who had a problem. Like, after the con, we got an email from the people, like the organizers. They had sent out a survey. I assume the survey went very poorly for them, because they did put out an email a couple of days later saying, hey guys, we know that we have a lot of stuff that we need to work on, and trust us, next year is going to be better. Next year is going to be amazing. So it was acknowledged by them. And I think that the actual people running it were sweethearts. Like, anybody that I spoke with and dealt with was awesome and amazing and super nice. I don't want to trash them, but there was a feeling of, yeah, they are not getting people in here. They are not. And it was in the side. It was in the function room, like a couple function rooms on the side of a fucking casino. And there was no mechanism for just, suctioning people from the casino or people in the vicinity of the casino into the Comic-Con space. And also they charged, I think, $20 for tickets, which is way too high. So that was an issue. I don't think I made, and I think that was far and away the most expensive con I've done, and I don't think I made even half of what I paid for the 2 weekend days back. Like, it wasn't even. It was a huge financial loss, but it was, again, learned a couple valuable lessons about how to sell myself. Every single one of these I've done, I've learned valuable lessons on how to sell myself, how to sell my shit, how to talk to people about the weird, insane, unhinged children's books I've made, and like my plans for the future. So that was good. I remember 2 p.m. on the Sunday. It was a Saturday and Sunday, 2-day con, right? 2 p.m., this dude behind me loudly started breaking down his booth. Just clap, 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 just like slamming everything. And I turned around and I was like, leaving already? And he goes, yeah, it's 2 p.m. and I've made one fucking sale. And this place is going to die after 3. And I felt bad because I was actually I barely did anything on Saturday and I was like super worried, but actually I did like twice as much business on Sunday that I did on Saturday. So I felt bad because this guy was way more talented than me. Like he was just so much, he just does like, you know, the problem is, right, is that I have a couple weird children's books. I am competing with people who do really awesome drawing, and they will sell just really awesome drawings of characters, you know, Spider-Man, Superman, K-pop Demon Hunters, your favorite anime character, right? And so I'm competing with Gojo. I'm competing with fucking, you know, like I am competing with these absolute all-time legends. I'm competing with Batman and Superman and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that I am punching way above my weight class. So anytime I sell anything, it is a small fucking miracle. And I try not to take it for granted. And so last Saturday, it was like night and day. It was incredible. Keith does insane promotion. There was a line out the fucking door for when that place, I could not even, this is the first con, I didn't have enough downtime to actually walk around and see 90% of the place because I was talking to people all day and, you know, either making sales or getting people and, you know, or just getting people interested. And I have like a lot of promo stuff. And so it was an amazing, wonderful day. I want to say my favorite interaction, okay? So I was talking to this one woman who was wearing a He Is Risen shirt, all right? Her husband, they were older. Her husband was wearing something with a cross on it. They were wearing team colors. And I have a coloring book that I've sold called Rejected Superheroes, which is available if you go to my link tree. It's available for $12. It's $15 on Amazon and Walmart.com, Barnes and Noble. It's on every major book website, but if you buy it from my special link on my link tree, $12. It's $15 everywhere else. So, and I was selling it for $10 at the con, and I was doing a bundle of both of my books for $15, right? So, you know, working on my spiel for both books, but talking about some of the heroes in my Rejected Heroes book. One of the characters is a hero that I've actually created when I was a kid. And then finally, this is like the first thing I actually got him in. I wrote a whole novel with him back in 2020 that I never published, that my wife really wants me to publish, but I'm like, I'd have to go back and like redo the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But the whole thing is that he shoots bubble gum out of his bubblegum gun, but his hook is that he's clinically depressed and he just doesn't do anything. He just doesn't leave the house. He just eats Uber Eats and watches YouTube all day. Very relatable superhero. And so I'm giving people, and most 99.9% of people that I'm talking to on Saturday, when I get to the clinical depression thing, they laugh because it's a joke, because it's, a superhero, but he just doesn't do anything because he's depressed. And the cover of the book is just him sitting on his bed, just staring down at the floor. That's the cover of the book. And so he's kind of the mascot, right? Because I think it's just a really dope image, and I think it gets the point across, right? So the moment I mention clinical depression, this woman, she's holding, mind you, she's holding my business card, one of the bookmarks. We give away free bookmarks, we give away stickers and stuff. So she's holding Christmas cards or a business card, bookmark, sticker. She's holding a bunch of shit. The moment I say clinical depression, she throws it onto the table, like forcefully throws it onto the table, and then looks at me and she goes, "There's enough of that in the world today," and then storms off. And I
Jesus.
just loudly cackled. I just loudly just you can probably hear my laugh. No way she didn't hear my laughter.
Yeah.
All the way down that fucking hallway. Just
Oh my God. That is dude, that's not even woke 1.0. That's woke. Oh, that's original.
yeah, that's
like I remember
woke
that,
zero.
dude. Like in college, that was the meta where it was like, oh, like if you joke about this, that means you don't take it seriously, and if someone hears you joke about that, they might commit suicide. And it's like, like no. Like people joke about things that often are like relatable to them, and it's like you're supposed to be like, oh, I have clinical depression. That's pretty wild. Like
the hero is based on me. I have clinical depression. I don't do things that I should. I order Uber Eats too much and watch YouTube too much. That is the fucking point. It is that is kind of the point of art, right? I take something that I hate about myself and I make it into a fictional character that I can laugh at to make it more okay, you know? So anyway.
Right.
Overall though, this one woman was an outlier. I had a lovely day, sold a bunch of shit. Didn't have much time to go to other people, but actually these God, what was the name of these people? I wish I remember the name of these people, but I got two cool little stuffed animals that you can see right here. I hung up one here and then I hung up here. Oh God, I wish I remembered their name.
Oh, nice.
I feel like such a dick right now because I should shout them out. Maybe at some point when you're talking, I will sneakily try to Google them. And try to remember who they were. Actually, if I go to while I'm talking, I am going to go to my Substack where I wrote a whole post, and like a fucking genius, man, I posted the floor layout. So they are okay. So they are Your Illusion Crafts. So Your Illusion Crafts made these things, and it's a little owl. That's the owl right there, and then it's a little axolotl, and that's hanging off of a thing. And I bought those from them because because they make cool, dope shit, but also me and my wife didn't realize every con we had done up until now provided a tablecloth for us. This con did not, which no shade to keep. We should have brought our own tablecloth. And that's something in the arsenal. Again, learned it now. Have our own tablecloth in case they don't give us, or in case we don't like the tablecloth we've been given, give us the option of our own tablecloth, right? So this hero just came out and was like, I have a bunch of extra tablecloths. Do you want one? And then let us look through one, and we picked the best looking one and saved our lives, because my table would have looked so much shittier had they not stepped in like a hero. So shout out Your Illusion Crafts, and thank you for the owl and the axolotl. I owed you super hard. Probably not watching, but I love you. Thank you.
Hell yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's yeah, you think you're bad at promoting. It never occurred to me to to rent space at a con. My friend Max and I wrote a comic book a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah. It is it's called Commander and Chef. And the the premise is that there's a terrorist attack on the annual government barbecue. Okay, and the uh like the entire line of succession gets wiped out, including the president. And it to the point where the line of succession is all the way down to the White House chef.
Oh, that's
Um,
hilarious.
and and he's just this like schlubby dude who doesn't want the smoke, but ends up taking it on. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. But we did like a not Kickstarter, but one of those, and got the thing printed and everything, and like looks good. We're working on the second issue, but yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I should.
Are you still working on the second issue?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've never seen that. How long ago did you make that?
God, it must have been like 2018. It
Yeah.
was it was right before I moved to Boston.
That's a funny idea, dude.
Yeah, right. And we always
the line
pictured
goes all the way down to the chef. That's hilarious.
Right. The premise is just like it writes itself,
And I feel like actually maybe doing like a revival of it might be not a terrible idea, because I feel like it's kind of never been trendier to be a chef or have something food related, right? The bear won all those Emmys fraudulently because it was placed in the wrong category, but it still won them.
yeah.
Even though it committed category fraud.
No jokes.
It is not a comedy.
Yeah.
I watched the first 2 seasons. There's maybe 3 laughs.
Yeah. It's not a bad show, but yeah.
It's not a bad show. I do kind of hate it because it commits category fraud. Meanwhile, a modern masterpiece of a sitcom, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, has never gotten a single Emmy nomination.
That is wild.
Which is insane.
That's been on.
That's where you live.
20 years.
Yeah, 20
more than
years.
that. Yeah,
I think isn't this like the 19th or the 20th season? Like
that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're been good. I haven't watched any of this season yet, but I watched last season, and there were like 3 or 4 classics last season. There were amazing.
Yeah, it's such a I remember when I was doing comedy in Philly years ago, it was like anytime someone put out something solid, it would like blow up nationwide. There's like TV shows about Philly that are like, comics that I know. And like, Shane Gillis blew up, all this stuff is like I feel like people don't think of Philly, not just with comedy. It just like sort of doesn't come up. But then like when people from Philly do something, everyone's like, oh shit, that's great. Philly. All right. Yeah. But
it's not just Rocky. There's more to Philly than just Rocky.
True.
It's not just Rocky Balboa. There's more things.
Oh yeah. There's the museum that's behind him. But
are you watching that Lanterns show on HBO Max?
No.
It's actually really good. I've watched the first 2 episodes. The first 2 episodes are out. They're basically doing True Detective, but with Green Lanterns instead of detectives. So but they're doing like the prestige crime drama.
Yeah.
So they're really leaning into that. But the first episode, within like the first 10 minutes, Hal Jordan, played by Kyle Chandler, who's doing a phenomenal job, by the way, picks up Jon Stewart, played by Aaron Pierre, who also is great. They're both amazing flavors, and they work off of each other perfectly, right? But Hal Jordan picks up Jon Stewart in a car, and where he's standing is very clearly the outside of the bar of Patty's Pub from It's Always Sunny. Obviously, it doesn't have the Patty's Pub sign because I think they're pretending it's a boxing gym. But if you've watched enough It's Always Sunny, you'll know that's the fucking street in front of there. It's a very distinct, because it's just like a Hollywood backlot that they shoot that, because they shoot that show for so cheap and they do very little of it in actual Philadelphia. Maybe they do like maybe 2 days of filming in Philadelphia per season, if that,
Yeah, I love when they shoot something in Philly. I'm like, that's the waterfront.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you got one. I remember there was a show that I watched called Being Human on Sci-Fi that was set in Boston. And I think there was only one scene in the whole show where I was able to clock like, oh, they actually went to State Street. They actually, I think they filmed it in like Vancouver or some shit, but there was one scene where there was a character walking around State Street near Government Center, and it was like, you guys finally got down there. You guys finally, the show does not look like Boston 900% of the time. Okay, anyway.
That's funny.
Okay,
but yeah, yeah. Oh, I was just going to mention, like, with Green Lantern, so I've never been like super into like superhero stuff, but when I discovered Green Arrow, I was like, well, why didn't anyone tell me about this? This is like a fucking leftist superhero.
Never got into Green Arrow. Never got into Green Arrow. I know that people love the CW show.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a little Batman-y. Like it's just more of like a crime drama. But yeah, the spirit's there. And one of the like early Green Arrow series was it was a team up between Green Arrow and Green Lantern from like the 70s, and it's like a huge comic series. And it's great. It's just it's so good because Green Lantern starts out as like the sort of like Boy Scout, like everything's to the letter of the law. And, he's sort of under the purview of like whatever that like alien council is that oversees
the Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah, and blue guys. They so in the first 2 episodes, they have not shown those guys, but they've talked about them at length.
Yeah, but yeah, it's great because Green Arrow comes in. He's like, "No, dude, you don't get it. Like, check out this like slum that this landlord runs. He's about to evict this old lady because he wants to build a parking lot. Like, it's so good. I like, obviously, it's like exactly my thing. And that just made me go like, oh yeah, superheroes can be fucking cool, man. This is great.
Yeah, very Robin Hood coded, that one.
Oh yeah.
From what I understood. Again, never got into Green Arrow. I hear the CW show at least starts good. I think it gets a little bit too multiversey. I do feel like all these things, when they get a little too, there's a million infinite versions of everybody.
Yeah. And it
kind of replaces stakes.
Right. Yeah, and it's always like a tie-in with the oh well, the Flash show is gonna sort of merge with this one. It's but like I mean, there's some solid fucking comic series with Green Arrow, but anyway, I'm working on a big Green Arrow video that I'm gonna put out one day.
Oh hell yeah! Well, I will watch the shit out of that. Okay, you want to get started with the actual news?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're going to start with Hasan derangement syndrome, correct? You got the tweets to pull up?
Sweeping the nation.
It is. It is so just watching it, right? Just watching the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
It is so blatant. It is so embarrassing and blatant. The way that just these motherfuckers are so bald-faced.
Yeah.
I know that there are some normies. I mentioned I was talking to my mother a few days ago, and I mentioned Hasan Piker. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not. I said something like, I'm not Hasan Piker or whatever, right? Something like that. Like it was like a joke, right? And she's like, I've heard of him. And when my mom has heard of you, that's an issue. Like that is a
Yeah.
problem. Like, fuck, Hasan has reached you.
Right. That's funny. Like I had mentioned Hassan to my dad once, and I like
Mhm.
sort of explained who he was, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." And it's like that's something that like I should tell my dad, and he immediately forgets. And then next time I
Yeah.
bring it up, he's like that. That's the extent my parents should know about Hassan Piker. But
Mhm. Yeah, my
yeah,
mother should
it's
not know. There's a problem with the media when my mother knows who Hasan Piker is.
Yeah, it's so unserious. Like I don't think this is working. I can't know for sure, but I do think this is not working. You go into any comment section of these things and everyone's just
Mhm.
like, you guys are so fucking full of shit. This is why no one trusts the mainstream
Yeah.
media. It is just it's over for these people. But like anyway, this is
Okay. Can we full screen this video? So yeah. So this.
yes. I just want to go over the commentary here first because yeah, so I guess we'll play this video.
Dana Bash,
Yeah,
noted
Sexual
amazing
violence from
journalist.
Hamas.
yeah,
Definitely not the go-to person to give Netanyahu a softball interview.
yeah. She's an agent, right? Like this is
Mhm.
just she and Jake Tapper are fucking ridiculous. But anyway, so
Mhm.
this is the first video. This is her condemning Hassan uh
Yeah.
forcefully. Here we go.
You may not have heard of left-wing streamer Hasan Piker until this year when Democratic Michigan Senate candidate Abdul El-Sayed began campaigning with him. Just a reminder, Piker has excused sexual violence from Hamas terrorists.
So just want to point out as we go here that is not true. The It's a deceptively edited clip that's gone around, and what Hassan says in the actual segment is that
Mhm.
um, uh, even if Hamas committed sexual violence on October 7, which there was no definitive proof of at all.
Mhm.
You can assume that like okay, this like resistance group of like guys who have grown up in this like horrendous situation, and running around with guns. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that has happened, but
Mhm.
um the idea that it was any sort of widespread thing, that it was like ordered as a weapon, to be weaponized by like the heads of Hamas, it's ridiculous.
Mhm.
But so what Hassan said is like, okay, even if that was true, which there's no
Yeah.
evidence for, that doesn't change the equation for me that genocide is wrong. you know
Mhm.
that's what he said, but
Yeah.
they cut him out saying, I don't give a shit if there was sexual violence. That doesn't change the equation for me at all. And it's like,
The
well,
problem
yeah, that
is
sounds bad when you
the problem truly is that Hasan is just too nuanced, where
right.
it is very easy to get a block of Hasan text and get something that's juicy, that if you just play that one isolated 30-second clip,
Yeah,
sounds like he is a horrible person.
yeah,
We
dude,
also
it's
got a couple comments if we want to highlight them on
oh
screen.
hell yeah.
We got TechCast, who says, what counts as Hasan derangement syndrome? And then also asks, when did the genocide start? So,
um well, yeah, I mean, I think that there was certainly a lot of what we could call ethnic cleansing from the
mhm,
very beginning of
mhm,
the formation of Israel. Before that, there was, there were, uh, uh, I don't know what to call them even, but like there were terrorist groups that were Zionist terrorist groups
mhm,
running around Palestine before that. So I understand that like the it's the population of Palestine wasn't being like systematically slaughtered for all of this time, if that's what you're getting at,
mhm,
TechCast. But it was still an ethnic cleansing and an oppressive regime, an apartheid regime, really.
Mhm.
And but the genocide started, I would say, in earnest, in the form that we're witnessing now, October 8th. So if that answers that for you. And Hasan derangement syndrome, I mean, that it's mostly like tongue in cheek that we call it that in response to like Trump derangement syndrome. But what counts as Hasan derangement syndrome, I would say, is like basically what Dana Bash is doing in this clip. It's the fact that for, I don't know, 2 weeks, and I think there have been like other periods of it throughout the year, the media and Democratic Party and Republican Party have done very little other than talk about Hasan Piker and demand that
Yeah.
people distance themselves and condemn him, but much like Hamas in that way.
Yeah. I mean, we're in an endless war that we cannot win. We are was unaware of him until the dog stuff.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you think about like, okay, there is a real chance of a fucking food shortage on the horizon. There are, like I said, endless war. We may be at the end of our missiles, right? We may be doing a ground invasion of Iran in the next few months. The Supreme Court just handed the president the ability to steal the midterms by kneecapping mail-in ballots. Like, there are all these major things happening that you would expect the news to be talking about, and what we have instead is a million fucking segments about a Twitch streamer who goes to certain states to canvass for certain people sometimes. So
I'm not interested in litigating this like Asmongold shit. So like, TechCast, you're welcome to watch.
Is this person, or are they doing like Asmongold shit? Okay, at least he didn't roach out on his group and WoW, I guess. Bet Pirate was happy when he zapped that dog, got the attention off him. Wait, I don't know.
Does roach out on his group in WoW not refer to Asmongold?
Roach out. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of I don't know. There's a lot of dog whistling here.
Yeah. I mean, TechCast, you're welcome to watch. I'm not, if this isn't Asmongold, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about at the moment, but you're welcome to
Pirate Software. Lol, the guy ran out on his group and wow, hardcore killed them all. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I'm not sure how it connects.
Pirate Software is?
I've heard of it.
I've heard the name. Name. Roach out is to run away and to save yourself. I don't know. I've heard the name Pirate Software, and I know that's like a name that like people don't like, but I think that I know like how terminally online I am, and anytime there's like a person that everybody on the internet knows that I have no fucking clue about, I actually thank God. I'm like, thank God. I don't know. I don't want to learn anymore. I don't want to know about a new internet person. Like, I am so mad that I know who EDP 445 or whatever the fuck his name is. Like that person, because I love Chris Hansen. I love Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen. That guy never did anything wrong. Not a single day. In this house, Chris Hansen is a fucking hero. You know what I'm saying? It's end of story. Chris Hansen, bro. That dude stops the pedos. Anyway, so but because I know and follow Chris Hansen shit, I now know who EDP 445 is, and I'm so mad that motherfucker like breached my consciousness. And I tell you, if there comes a day where my mother knows who EDP 445 is, that is when I know that we have truly lost.
That's the apocalypse. He was the big thing.
So this person, Yeah, it was just coming. He was just a big thing until the Hasan dog stuff. He was
Yeah.
Twitch enemy #1.
Oh,
Well,
okay. So yeah, sorry.
Hasan took that ball and ran with it, baby.
Yeah, sorry if I was coming off like defensive at all. Then
Yeah.
I thought this was an Asmongold chatter. I watched too much Hasan because that's what that was my reaction. But yeah, take Hass. Just remember that we're old. We're older than Hasan.
Yeah, we're almost 40, so we're two old guys.
Yeah, but all right, let's get back to the Dana Bash thing.
Dana Bash. Dana Fash.
Now, the controversial relationship between the two entered new territory this week after Piker said this.
If Jews in America keep putting this idea out there that they are singularly invested in Israel, eventually someone's going to come around and take action, not against the state of Israel, mind you, but against American Jews.
Well, Piker made that comment that American Jews who support Israel are responsible for actions taken against them.
Which is crazy because that's not even what he said in that clip, which is also deceptively edited. But she literally comes back from the clip and says something he didn't really imply at all.
A picture of a Jewish Michigan state legislator was prominently displayed. That spurred this statement from Democratic Michigan Congresswoman Hillary Scholten. Piker is a hack who thrives on hate, shock, and awe because he lacks substance.
Yeah, that is wild to say as well from these fucking people who completely lack substance. Like you go to Hasan now for substance. You go to Mike from PA and like you know, there's a bunch of guys.
Although to a lesser extent, I like Kyle, but sometimes he gets a little too. Sometimes
the dark woke commander.
Yeah, I like him, but sometimes his stuff is a little bit too end of the worldy. Which I mean, he's probably right, but I don't know.
Called tabloids. No, seriously. They can't call Subway bread.
The US seems like a very loose term. Really should be called tabloids, like how they cannot call Subway bread, as it's got so little human food in it. Yeah, it is. That is actually the perfect metaphor. It's just our news is technically plastic and should not be eaten by children. That is news in this country. It is for sure going to give you cancer.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Okay, but play the other clip.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to pull back for a sec here.
You may not have heard of left-wing streamer.
Quiet.
Quiet,
piggy. So
I'm speaking.
Okay, well, that's just a quote from her. Okay, so then after that clip we just watched
is doxing themselves. We're not much better. We had breaking news: Harry and Meghan moved house. So we know they're from the island.
But so then Gato Fumante, one of my favorite Twitter follows, honestly.
Gato Fumante.
Oh, a mutual. Look at that. I didn't even know they follow me.
Gato Fumante. You got the Gato Fumante follow.
But just a month and a half ago, Dana Bash said the same exact thing she's now condemning Hasan Piker for. And that I don't think is an exaggeration.
American Jews
full screen,
in Congress
full screen this
who
bitch.
support Israel and support what you just said say that
wait, let me start.
A lot of American Jews in Congress who support Israel and support what you just said say that a lot of the actions by you and your government are making Jews in the United States unsafe.
So did everyone hear that?
Clip it and ship it, boys.
Rock player 889.
Oh yeah, no, that's we're hey, that's a good sign. We are visible enough that we're getting spam comments.
Oh, is it?
We're getting bots.
Oh yeah, the accents on there.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we usually for real
that
people
is a bot
out there,
for sure.
Yeah, we usually go live at 7:30 now on Thursdays. That's
I think time. Thursdays is going to be the night. I feel like that works better for both of us.
But yeah, so she just said that she framed it as like Jewish people in Congress have been saying that you're making Jews less safe. But she's not going like, and they are anti-Semites for that. Interestingly, but let's see what the
Congresswoman Haley Stevens, she's running for Senate in Michigan,
Haley Stevens, not Jewish.
said Benjamin Netanyahu has made us less safe. He has frankly put Jews in an uncomfortable position across the country.
And then she followed up by saying, "What gives?"
Yeah, again, like that, all the fucking shit that Abdul got, and Haley Stevens just said the same thing as Hasan. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Made her.
She
made her
literally
uncomfortable
said, she literally
because
said, Israel comes to me in my dreams and it makes me less safe now.
Yeah. Now this is wild. Listen to what Benny Boy here says about Haley Stevens.
Well, it's made her uncomfortable because she can't stand up for the truth. She's trying to probably excuse anti-Semitism. You know,
she's not. She's. I mean, I just want to explain. She's somebody who supports Israel. She supports funding Israel, which is diminishing big time among Democrats and even some Republicans.
So obvious, dude.
So yeah. So did we catch that as well? Benjamin Netanyahu says it was like she supports anti-Semitism. I want to get it right because I don't want to be like these fucking assholes.
Probably excuse anti-Semitism. You know.
Okay, he said she excuses anti-Semitism, and then Dana Bash says what? She says no, she supports Israel and she supports funding Israel. Right?
Mhm.
So that gives the game away to me. That's saying that that anti-Semitism is when you don't support Israel. That's her fucking argument. If we really get down to it, like she cannot help herself but to give the game away here. And this is also very funny because Benjamin Netanyahu and Haley Stevens were doing a little act here, actually, to downplay.
This was a little comedy sketch. This was a little fun little I think you should leave type thing. This wasn't real.
They deserve the Emmy instead of the bear.
Yeah, this is more of a comedy than the fucking bear. Let me tell you, this is way funnier.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think that's the game right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the stuff with Hasan is so blatant in just how it's just so obvious a smear campaign. Anybody who cares to actually look at it, right? You will see a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon. It's just like, when are we going to get rid of this guy? You know, and all those people are either, dead internet theory is real, right? So more than half of the people you're talking to online are fake, right? More than half the people you're talking to online, I mean, legitimately are bots, and you got to keep that in mind.
Got one right here.
Got one right here. We got, we got RockX Player X _889 _. TechCast seems real, but I can never be sure. Their face, their profile, their avatar doesn't, it's robotic. It could be bot, right?
Yeah.
But,
okay. Well,
but anybody echoing this sentiment online is either a bot, or they're just somebody who just wants an excuse to hate Hasan Piker.
Right. And that includes the left, by the way. Like, there is a lot of like anti-Hasan sentiment on the left. They're often called like ultras, like ultra leftists. Lenin wrote a book about them called left-wing communism and infantile disorder. Where it was always like these lefter than thou fucking types. But I do want to go over a couple of good responses here. So this is Prem Tucker. He's a great journalist. He's a reporter for Zateo News.
Can we do a zoom in on this? Is that a possibility? Is there like, you go into the, there we go.
He writes for Zateo News, the Mehdi Hasan.
I love Zateo.
Yeah.
Many rules.
Yeah. But Prem is great. So he says, so he's quote tweeting this himself. Here are the 35 House members and 6 senators calling on Marco Rubio and the Trump administration to free 20-year-old Sama Safi from Israeli detention. Now, this is, I believe, an American citizen who was in Israeli detention. So we see, from the House, like a good spread here. All the people you'd expect: Summer Lee, AOC, Ilhan Omar, some of our faves, and then from the Senate,
And Markey, I've been canvassing for that guy. I'm going to be canvassing for him again on Sunday, and maybe even going to a rally.
Hell yeah!
TBD.
So yeah, the entire Massachusetts delegation. Jeff
Do
Merkley.
we think that if Seth Moulton wins, do we think he would be on that list?
Fuck no, he's not on the House list.
he might. Oh yeah, it's true. He's not on the House list. He might. Although he might glom onto it if he thinks it'll give him some good press. That dude is thirsty.
Yeah, Jesus.
That guy is thirsty.
Yeah, Jeff Merkley, who I don't know a lot about. Bernie, of course. Chris Van Hollen, who I give a lot of credit to. Chris Van Hollen. He is my choice for majority leader if the Democrats take the Senate. Because the thing about Chris Van Hollen, he's definitely to my right. He's not a socialist. I don't know his position on everything, but he is very good on at least a few things. I was very impressed that he went to El Salvador to get Kilmar Abrego Garcia released from CCOT.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes, we don't agree on anything, but they fuck good. And sometimes that's just what we need. We need somebody who fucks real good.
Yeah. And the thing about him is he is very willing to be in coalition with people he can find common ground with. And he doesn't punch left. That is very important, right? Because we like, I've been saying a lot, like the history of socialism is a history of uneasy coalition with non-socialist factions. That's just how it is, because socialism is the minority. You have to build it by working within the system that exists. And I don't think Chris Van Hollen is going to attack DSA. So so he's great. I like him. Peter Welch, I don't know a lot about, but Prem's quote tweet then says, reminder again, while many rush to condemn Hasan Piker for something he never said, Chris Van Hollen is the only 2028 contender in the Senate calling for Trump to free a 20-year-old American from Israeli detention. No Gallego, Booker, Kelly, Murphy, Ossoff, Slotkin, or Warnock. Warnock has no excuse. Like that dude was a radical, and he's just fucking gone right to the middle. But
money will do that to you.
Yeah, but here's the thing: he says that Chris Van Hollen is a 2028 contender, and fine. But I would like Chris Van Hollen again to be the majority leader in the Senate under President AOC. I think that's the way to go. Because first of all, I don't think Chris Van Hollen is run for president material. I think he is a kind of boring guy who's pretty good, and I think would be a good leader in the Senate, who again would not punch left on Bernie and Abdul and the other people, Angie, the people that we're hoping to send to the Senate. So and AOC has the motion to I don't see a fucking single person in the party who could run a serious presidential campaign at the moment. But that's Prem. That's our boy Prem.
I think AOC is very much gearing up for one.
Yeah.
AOC is topping so many polls.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be although part of me thinks that it's one, a safer bet, and two, might in the long run be better if she went for Schumer's seat. If she tried to unseat Schumer. And if that were if we see that happen, I would not be mad at all, because I think that dude needs to be gone yesterday.
Sure, but here's the thing: the presidency is so important. It is so powerful.
Yeah,
and I just don't see how we survive another conservative or neoliberal presidency with the way things are fucking going.
I understand where you're coming from, but I also worry that the way that I see these fuckers, these no good, rotten fuckers, right?
Mhm.
Just anytime anybody gets any sort of motion on the left, just sticking the stick into the bicycle wheel spokes, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
and we're seeing it with Michigan, right? Where they all, they all kind of bent the knee to Abdul, but you'll see the little ways in which they're trying to undermine him. We were talking about this last week, right? Where a lot of Democrats are, they are, I think part of it is the Hasan attacks, right? Part of it is the Hasan attacks.
Well, they're attacking Hasan. They're attacking Hasan so they don't have to be seen. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're attacking Hasan because Hasan is his most visible satellite, and it's a good way where you can attack. So the Democrats can attack Hasan. They can punch Hasan. At the same time, Republicans are tying Hasan to Abdul.
Right.
And
they're working together.
Yeah, it is a 1-2 punch. It is just, literally one motherfucker is sticking up their leg to trip Abdul. The other one is holding their fucking fist to punch him in the face when he falls over, right? And so it is very blatant. So my worry with AOC running for president is that if AOC actually runs on actual, and I think the fact that she re-enlisted in the DSA after letting her membership lapse for 7 years, right? But it was headlines that she just re-enlisted, right? It is my worry is that if she actually runs on a DSA style platform, they are going to for sure try and kneecap her in the primary.
Yeah,
and I would be very surprised. The same way that we watched it in 2020, man, when the Super Tuesday massacre, where Bernie had some motion, right? But then Georgia happened, and because Georgia happened, and Biden did very well in Georgia, what they all did is just people who should not have dropped out based on how many delegates they had gotten, right? Yeah. There was no reason for Pete Buttigieg to be dropping out, no reason for Klobuchar to be dropping out, and they all fucking just rank and file. It's like, no, okay, Obama did some back channel wheeling and dealing, okay, even though I have a decent shot at this, right? No sane candidate in my position would be dropping out of the fucking race at this point with the amount of delegates that I have received, right? Not before Super Tuesday, but you saw them just all drop out, except for who? Except for Elizabeth Warren, who had way less delegates, way less of a path to the presidency. But what did she have? Oh, she was siphoning. She was the only candidate who was potentially siphoning votes off of Bernie.
Yeah.
And it was so blatant and awful. And I just envision some shit like that happening. Whereas I feel like if AOC ran for Schumer's seat, Schumer is so unpopular right now, and AOC is very well liked, especially in New York, where she is a political superstar.
Sure.
I feel like it would be a cleaner path, and she could do some real good shit in the Senate versus running and potentially losing a presidential primary.
Sure.
That is how
here's what I say. Here's what I say to all of that warning is good.
Good. What do you mean?
Good. I do a Donald Glover good. Because here's the thing, that and like this moment is fucking revealing the complicity of these Democrats to the Democratic base.
Yeah.
The presidential campaign, because remember, Hasan's not running for anything. The presidential primary will be that on fucking steroids. And Well, let me get this point out first, which is that we have a concept in socialism called the heightening of the contradictions, and people want to make this happen. They want to force it to happen all the time, but you actually really have to seize these kinds of historical moments to make that happen and drive the fucking wedge and say, bring it on. Fucking come for us, because the thing is that will reveal them if they try to sabotage her in the primaries. It will reveal them even more if they try to sabotage her in the general, and if they try to deny her funds or whatever. And that is what can create like again, like all the guys to my left, all the people to my left are saying DSA is like, junior varsity of the bourgeois Democratic Party. They need to break from the Democratic Party. But again, you don't force it. You can't just do that, because they could very easily become just another failed third party. But what they're doing now is fucking carving out a space, carving out a foothold in the Democratic Party, in the Congress. And the support network is so much deeper than it was for Bernie, because Bernie was out there on his own, and he's a cantankerous old guy. AOC is an attractive young woman with
he's
energy.
A catty old bitch.
Yeah, and people already love AOC. And you know who else loves AOC? The fucking normie libs, dude. The people who hated Bernie Sanders.
AOC.
Yeah. So
my mom actually once told me, she's like, I'm sorry, because early on she was just like, she's so stupid, she's an idiot. Where I was like, Mom, I love you, Mom, but she is smarter than you, and she knows a lot more about anything than you do, right? The thing to me is just that. But the thing to me is that this is the moment that, like, this is the fucking moment. You know what I mean? Van Halen right now, like, fucking, this is it. Because we're going up. It's our moment.
Yes. This is what dreams are made of. Why can't this be love? But jump. I don't know, but this is the moment, because again, we don't have fucking time, dude. Like, we don't have time for like AOC to like mature into like the like sturdy oak tree that we want her to be.
I mean,
like,
I also don't know. I get where you're coming from. I also, just knowing her past and knowing how there's been a couple times where AOC has been very loudly full of shit. I want to go back to the 2024 DNC, where Kamala is working tirelessly for a ceasefire, so then cut to Tyler, the Creator. So that was a fucking lie. Right? Like,
no, dude, I get it. And she's nowhere near perfect. I have a lot of problems with her. But this is the thing. We're playing the game of politics. It's a fucking dirty shit
game.
show.
We're Stratego. We're playing Stratego.
Like, the point is not that AOC is Lenin. She's not just like girl Lenin. The point is that the point is that
my favorite anime, by the way.
No, that's a comic book.
Girl Lenin.
Yeah. But like,
Lenin was reincarnated as a girl.
Yeah.
Now she lives with 3 male roommates.
Yeah. But dude, you know who wasn't perfect? FDR. Like, he had internment camps. AOC could be the one to shut down our internment camps. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Like she's not this is a very different time. I think she would be the best president we've ever had by far. Like, I think honestly,
that's big. Let's knock on wood. I'm a little bit more pessimistic than you are about this.
Oh, sure, but the thing is, like, she doesn't have to be perfect. She doesn't have to be the perfect representative of us. But it puts a conduit for DSA, for the left, in the most powerful position on earth. And again, that's with with DSA, the growing fucking hard-cocked DSA, supporting the movement, and they're in Congress, they're in the Senate, they're in mayorships and possibly, you know, maybe governors by then, but like the movement is at a point where like we like, I don't, it's just who's gonna fucking like pass a Green New Deal, who's gonna pass Medicare for all. I think we need the mouthpiece in there to say they are united in their hatred against me, and I welcome their hatred.
I mean, I mean, I hope in my heart of hearts. So one of my favorite anime is Attack on Titan. I don't know if I've said this metaphor before, but Attack on Titan, great anime. The ending is a little pro genocide. We're going to be honest about that. There is some, it kind of loses the plot in like the last like 5 minutes of the narrative. Right.
Okay.
But you know, it's flawed. It's like anything that anything that we've been glazing on this stream.
Sure.
It is severely flawed, right? You know, be it Hasan Piker or AOC or the anime Attack on Titan. But one of the big reveals of the show, and I'm going to spoil this for you, although I do think the show is overall worth watching. It's that so in the show, there are people who can turn into Titans at will. This is like one of the big reveals. So that's a spoiler I'm giving you right now. You realize as the show goes on that certain people can become the whole show. These big Titans have been coming and eating people, and you thought they were just monsters, but then you turn out that some of them are actual people who, you know, when they turn into Titans, they retain their human brains, and they are acting, you know, and they're using their Titan powers for various ends and strategies, right? But there is a king in the show who kind of started, you find out this guy kind of started everything, and the king's Titan gets passed down this royal bloodline, right? And it doesn't matter what the ideals are of the person who receives the king. Right? Like a lot of these people receive the king and they're like, well, when I become king, because you literally have to gain the previous, that you gain the king's, you give, to gain somebody's Titan, you have to eat them. Okay, so you have to eat them and kill them, and you have to drink their blood, and then you get their Titan, you get the soul of their Titan, right? You get all their Titan powers, right? And I'm butchering this, but that is kind of the Cliff Notes version, right? But it doesn't matter, and they go out of their way to tell you this, it doesn't matter the will of the person who receives the king. It doesn't matter the intent or whatever like pie in the sky ideals, pie in the sky goals and dreams that they have. Because when they receive the king, when they swallow the king's will overrides theirs, and they just do the king's fucking will. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you understand the metaphor here? Like, yeah. He, you know, and that's how I feel. And I really feel like Obama taught me this, right? Because I felt, dude, when Obama won in 2008, I mean, I really thought like, man, the world is gonna be good now, right? I mean, I was also, I mean, here's the thing, I was in college, dude. Like, you know,
Same,
you know what I'm saying? My brain hadn't finished fucking forming yet, right? But I feel like the presidency is to some degree like that, where it doesn't matter what your ideals are. I mean, obviously FDR did a great job, right? But part of me wonders, you know, with the stranglehold that, you know, fucking fascism and fucking corporations and capitalism has over this country, will they allow somebody with leftist ideals? They would need for somebody to get through with those ideals, they would need a Trump level rabid fan base. And can AOC build that? It's just, the problem is that's very easy to build. Can anybody else? Right? The problem is that it's so easy to build on the right, because the right is just rank and file behind whoever says the most racist thing sometimes, versus the left. Like, we can't even, and we're going to get into in the next segment, we can't even fucking agree on Dolly Parton, man. You know, like, we can't even fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're fucking, some of us are fucking trying to cancel Dolly fucking Parton, dog.
Right. But again, that dude's a fucking ultra. He has the infantile disorder. Like, we don't need to worry about those. The thing is, we don't need to worry about those people because they have no fucking relevance. Like, that's the thing. That's why I left that shit. That's why I left the Trotskyist shit. Like, I'm part of DSA because they are fucking doing shit. They're moving forward and they are taking the hits and saying, yeah, bring it on. I don't give a fuck, dude. Wait, hold up. I have a clip. I have a fucking clip.
Yeah, pull up the clip, bro. I'm so excited, Joe. I've never seen you this animated before in my fucking life.
But here's yeah. So the presidential campaign, the election becomes the national conversation in a way that nothing else can. And AOC in there, flaws and all, puts the left in that conversation. But here's what I will play for us now. Okay. This is just a little treat, but we need.
Do you want me to pull up the clip? Do you want me to pull up the clip? Is it a YouTube clip?
True. Yeah.
Or is it a, because if it's a Twitter clip, you can bring it up, but if it's a YouTube clip,
no, it's YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, where is it? It's in the chat, or is it in the private chat?
I could put it there.
Or did you send it to my Facebook? Did you send it to the Facebook chat? I'm not saying.
I didn't send it yet. It's on the private chat.
Oh, okay, private chat. All right.
But yeah, we need AOC in there, like, because again, there's no alternative. Like, I'm sorry, Ro Khanna, Chris Van Hollen, these people don't have the juice. Like, it's just not gonna fucking happen. But here's Fidel in Comandante Fidel in 1979.
If you were Hasan, they would clip that last sentence you said, where he's like, they don't have the juice, and it's like, see, he said they don't have the juice. He's an anti-Semite. Look, listen,
like, what does that even mean?
Yeah. Second clip that. Okay, all right.
Siempre está protegido con su traje. ¿Cuál traje? What suit? Everybody says you always have a que todo el mundo dice que usted tiene un chaleco a prueba de balas.
No.
Voy a desembarcar así en Nueva York. I will land in New York like this. Tengo un chaleco. I will land in New York like this. Tengo un chaleco moral. I have a moral one. A moral vest.
Yeah.
It's strong. Ese me ha protegido siempre. That one has protected me always. Es uno de los más ha intentado matar, la verdad. Pero parece que tiene 7 vidas como el gato. Porque siempre está parado.
That guy just fucks. That guy fucks.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's why Fidel like withstood the onslaught of the US for fucking 60 years. Because he said, yeah, bring it on. You can't kill me. Hey, nobody can.
I want to live in the best version. I want us to be living in the best version of this world. But you can't blame me for being a little pessimistic nowadays.
Sure, but that's the thing, is like, be pessimistic and also say, well, here's our best option. And because again, heightening of the contradictions. This is what we strive for, is these moments that drive the wedge and fucking force the new world to be born. The like, because look, Russia had a at least one failed revolution. All right. The 1905 revolution. The Bolsheviks got their asses kicked. Lenin was what's it called? Ousted, fucking banished, whatever. He was sent out.
I remember that flashback arc from Girl Lenin.
Yes.
when she remembered that happening.
Right,
and
right. The spirit of Lenin embodied her.
Yeah, you know, when she was fighting an enemy, and then halfway through the battle, she starts remembering, and then we spend like a couple episodes in the flashback with the Bolshevik stuff, and then she finds through that memory, she finds the power to rise up and defeat her.
Oh no, this is happening. This is happening now.
Are we writing Girl Lenin?
Oh Jesus.
Are we gonna sell this anime to Crunchyroll?
But yeah, I mean, look, like the German Revolution of 1918 failed because the moment wasn't right.
Yeah.
The Russian Revolution of 1917 worked. Not like, not just because the moment was right. The Bolsheviks knew what they were doing too. But you find these moments and you fucking seize them and you force it through. The like AOC's not perfect. She's got plenty of problems. You know who else did? Lenin and Castro and Matt. They all did. And nothing's gonna be perfect. And I don't know if we'll ever reach the heights of what Karl Marx predicted for us. But what we can do is just fucking just all get together and bash through the fucking brick wall, and then we'll figure it out from there.
I mean, I think that with how bad things are getting under Trump, I think that there's a reason why we're seeing progressives in DSA do so well in Michigan, do so well in Florida, do so well in Colorado, right? Coming within a fucking hot breath of the Wisconsin governorship, right? We're seeing all that because normal people are starting to realize how hard we have been fucking conned. And I think that this moment is ripe for a populist.
Yeah.
This moment is ripe for a populist. It is, but which is why when you think about, what Trump just did with the fucking, the Supreme Court is basically letting this dude get his mail-in ballot shit off, right? Like I think that the villains of this world don't just fucking walk away when they lose. AIPAC doesn't spend $70 million to lose in Michigan, right? To lose a primary in Michigan. I'm just like, gee, all right. I guess, it seems like they're like, okay, we need to fucking evolve, right? And then you have that story, right, that's going around of Mike fucking Rogers. Mike Rogers telling AIPAC, it's like, hey, still give me money, but maybe like don't do anything else. Just give, if you could give the money to somebody else to give me, that would be cool. I don't want to have to debate this guy. Can you just give me the money? I know I will get my clock cleaned in a fucking debate. This guy, did you see Abdul turned Jesse Waters into a simp?
Yes.
It's like,
called Mike Rogers a beta. That was amazing.
Listen, I hate his policies. He's a little communist freak, but you gotta admit, the dude is cool. I want to join his gang. I want to wear a leather jacket with him and lean against our Lamborghinis together. I want to join his T-Bird chapter, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. All right, we're okay. Anything else you want to say about that before we move on to the probably going to be the last segment? Maybe, I don't know. Depends on how long this is.
Yeah, no, we'll do what we can. But yeah, I mean, look, the other thing too is, if to put it in more American terms, like FDR was not a populist until he became one, because there was a coalition of the left that formed around him, and then he became the FDR we know. And I think that at the very least, we need a 21st century FDR, or we're fucked. So that's that. Yeah, that's my views on it.
I mean, I agree with that, and I think that that's part of why I think that Senate and House victories are so important, right?
Yeah.
The fact that we're going to have, especially from the New York side of things, we're going to be getting a whole handful of people. That's just people doing, sending votes in the right direction. That is a base to start with, and hopefully we can add to it and get, anyway. So that being said, we're going to talk about, we've talked about, I guess, do I want to say good leftists? I don't know if I want to say it like that, right? But let's talk about the kind of the darker side of the left. Not the darker side, but the more annoying side. So there was a term I coined, and are we going to pull this up? We got to pull up this window. So there's a term I coined a couple weeks ago that we keep bringing up, where I call them the buzzkill left, right?
Yeah.
And this is something that I've been kind of fighting against for a while, where just there is this leftist inclination to just tell you, well, actually, the thing that you like is bad. And even if you're right, even if you maybe have a point somewhere, right, you also need to understand that the point of all this is to win the hearts and minds of the people. You said it yourself, right? Socialists can't do this alone. We need fucking normies. We need normies to join our cause. We need to be able to sell ourselves to the fucking normies, right?
Yeah.
This ain't it, Orange Freddie G. So this is, I think his name is Fred Goldstein. Freddie Goldstein. Okay. I've known him for years because I'm pretty sure back when I did stand-up comedy, I did a gig with him. I want to say it was at Mohegan Sun. I know that I drove hours and hours to get there. And I know that it was like a stand-up gig, like middle of the afternoon, like 4 p.m. And I know it sucked. I know it sucked ass. But I'm pretty sure Freddie hosted the show. And I'm pretty sure he was really nice. Because I think we were friends. We were Facebook friends for after that or something. Anyway, I've known who this guy is. This was like maybe like 10, 12 years ago, right? So, or maybe more recent, maybe like 8 or 9 years. It's something like that. But I started to learn who he was again, or saw this current iteration of him, the beard version. When I met him, I don't think he had the beard.
Okay.
I don't think he had the beard yet. I think the beard is a newer thing, right? So this is his tweet that went viral, at least on my side of Threads. I don't know if you go on Threads or what it looked like when you look at Threads, but this is what I was seeing. I just, for 2 days, I could not avoid this dude's face, okay? But I had been seeing some of his reels and shit coming through, and then I was watching Hasan when this happened, okay? And I was like, no way, huh? I know that guy. I know that dude. I don't know her, but I know this dude. And Hasan is watching their. I'm gonna be honest. It was a weak. It was a weak sketch. I don't think it's very good.
Okay. It's muted. I can't hear it.
Oh no! Did I not? Oh shit! We're ruining the segment. Okay, I think I got to do stop sharing, and I got to do share screen again. Window. Oh, okay. So if I go Chrome tab, it says the always share tab audio is checked, but you have to. It's okay. So that was my fault. I didn't check the bottom. Okay. So anyway, we're pulling it back up. All right. It is fixed now. But so this is Hasan watching. This is Hasan watching this sketch.
Haley Stevens meets a voter.
How'd you know I'm Jewish?
Volunteer.
What?
I know how much you guys love Israel, almost as much as me. And on behalf of you, the Jewish people, I will fight for Israel. That's a little Hebrew.
I asked about health care. I don't really care about Israel.
Israel doesn't come to you in your dreams, but it's your indigenous homeland.
I'm from Grand Rapids.
That's anti-Semitic.
What are you doing to make healthcare more affordable for Michiganders? Your opponent's proposing universal healthcare.
Israel has universal health care.
So can we have that?
No, we can't afford that. We gotta be pragmatic and send money to Israel for their health care. It's the Michigan way.
The Michigan way? Is that even a saying?
I love Israel more than any place on earth.
More than Michigan?
Let me check with APAC. You betcha. Anyway, you were talking.
Yeah, it's very. Oh, now I hear myself.
Oh, you hear yourself?
I'm echoing.
Oh no. Okay. Okay, we're gonna stop sharing for a second. Okay.
Okay.
So say that again.
It's very SNL. It's like one of the weaker sketches from an SNL episode.
I think my problem, honestly, is I've seen that comedian. I've seen her do that. I've seen her do that shtick. Okay, I've seen her do that Haley Stevens shtick a few times now, and I don't know if I like it. I think that if you're going to do Haley Stevens, you should not be out energied by Haley Stevens herself, right?
Right.
Like Haley Stevens is part of why Haley Stevens kind of went viral during that primary campaign is because Haley Stevens has a Chris Farley level commitment to the bit.
Yes.
Where it kind of reminds me when I was watching, this is years ago, but I found a Game of Thrones porn parody. I was like, okay, I'll jerk it to this, right? And in the Lannister scene, they went out of their way to tell you that no, wait, was it the Lannister? Yeah, in the Lannister, you know, like the Lannister siblings, right? They went out of their way to tell you if they were step siblings. So, like the source material doesn't do that. The source material is like, no, this is brother and sister, and these are blood, DNA identical match, going at each other, raw dogging each other. But the porn parody is like, yeah, I was adopted, like you can't be like you can't be more of a pussy than the thing that you're trying to parody.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just she's not. She needs to give it her all. She needs to get like she needs the spittle on the bottom lip, like
right.
You can't be, if you're gonna be a parody of Haley Stevens, you can't be diet Haley Stevens, right?
Yeah. It's like I'm picturing like Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah,
like when
Melissa
she played
McCarthy would be
Sean
perfect.
Spicer when she played Sean Spicer.
Exactly.
That was like, yeah, you just gotta like go all out.
Yeah, you gotta. Anytime Melissa McCarthy, honestly, the best Melissa McCarthy ever is like, at least sometimes, is her SNL appearances, because she really, you can tell that she really loves the legacy of that place, and she really throws herself. I think the last time she was on, she just went in there for like a random like 5 Timers Club sketch, and she threw herself through a fucking wall for it,
Yeah, that's great.
And you'll see this with so many impressionists. For example, Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey will just go ham on some of this shit. And every time I see that woman do Haley Stevens, it just seems a little low-key and tepid compared to where I want the energy level to be. And I feel like even when Hasan does, when Hasan goes into Haley Stevens bits, I feel like he's bringing more energy and more. Anyway, so that's beside the point. That's just a side tangent. So Orange Freddie G, right? Orange Freddie G was in that sketch. I don't know if you clocked him, but he was the guy with the big orange beard. And fucking, so Dolly Parton dies a couple of days ago. Dolly Parton is an icon. And just, you know, yeah, there's maybe his whole thing, right, is that, oh, okay, she was good for a celeb, right? You know, if everyone likes you, that means you didn't take any controversial stands, which is like so not the case. She stood like 10 toes down for like the queer community, like trans people, gay people, right? And being from the fucking Midwest and the fucking South, man, right?
Yeah.
Like Tennessee, right?
It's also, it's giving like high schooler who just discovered like rebellion. Like,
yeah. So this is his thing. She was a good person for a celeb, but people overrate Dolly as a person. She's no Miss Rachel, right? And so talking about, you know, South Africa, it's like, I'm sure anybody who is as famous and was as rich as long as she was, you could probably, you know, see some shit, right? But anyway, so he proceeds to just double and triple and quadruple and quintuple down on this shit, right? I guess I can't read my notifications today. I don't think Dolly is worthy of receiving universal praise, so I'm going to be the one who points out her flaws. Sorry I'm like this, but I feel that no one is above criticism. What about you, Freddie? What about you? After I read a bio of her, I saw the ways in which she was flawed. Okay, like why
good
are
for
you
man?
why are you choosing the day of her fucking death to die on this hill, man? You know, to die on this fucking hill. Basically, Israel could have murdered all 2 million people in Gaza. And this is another thing that really annoys me about terminally online leftists, where I do think that, and I think that I've been guilty of it in the past, and I will cop to it, where, you know, in like the heyday of like the 2010s, I do think that a lot of liberals kind of used the whole, well, I'm actually morally superior. I believe in more morally superior things, right? And use that as like kind of this get out of jail free card excuse to be just a real C word to people. And I know that I've done it. I know that there are things in my past, there are internet interactions that I've had.
Same.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure, right? Where it's like, you know, I really just was reveling in the chance to bully somebody, right? And maybe if, you know, and I mean, here's the thing, sometimes I still do it because it's fun. And if somebody annoys me, like fucking, you know, like I'm not perfect. And I'm sure there'll be something next week where it's like, maybe I could have been nicer about that. But this person, I know there's this one guy in the Shushies Shinema group that I have on Facebook that anybody here, actually, there's a link to it in my link tree if you want to join. But there was this guy who posted a stand-up set of his a couple of weeks ago in my group, and I just read it, and it was just so awful and so bad. And I don't mind people self-promoting in my Shushies group, but most people do reach out privately and ask, and then or I see that they're promoting something, and I'll reach out to them and like, hey, you can promote that in the group. It's like, I know you. I think you're cool, promote in my group, right? Because I do have like over 600 people in there, right? And things that get posted in there do get seen, right? And this guy just posted his shit all willy-nilly, still the funniest stand-up set, and it was just an open mic set rebombed, and it just annoyed me. So I was like, I'm sorry, bro, I gotta go at you, man. And then I led a campaign, and then he deleted the video, and then he blocked me, which was hilarious. But yeah, anyway, but I do feel like, right, this is just what we are witnessing here, right? It's like you're tagging Free Palestine. You're like, you're getting all of Palestine in on your kink right now. This is masturbation. This is Louis C.K. style. Hey, watch me jack off here, right? One of those people was Dolly Parton, so I think she's overrated as a good person. And yes, I realize no one else feels the same way today, right? It's just, why did we have to know this about you, man?
Yeah, like, it's really just like, I don't know. It's what like it's good when like high profile people speak out about these things, but
Yeah.
like I this just seems like a matter of like managing expectations, dude. It's like, dude, what do you expect? Like these people are fucking out of touch. Like, of course. Like it's not for you to be this fucking concerned about. That's like your job is to do the advocating, not be like, look who's not advocating. Like it's
Yeah.
nothing. It does nothing.
Yeah, and it's so annoying, and it's such a turnoff. Like it just you are if I'm a person who's on the fence, right?
Yeah.
If I'm as a person who is not as thankfully educated as I am, and I don't even think I'm that educated, right? But I know that I know more about this shit than the average. If the average is a 4.5, I'm like a 5.3, right? Like I think sometimes you say things and I'm like, oh man, I've never I didn't know that part of history or whatever, right? And this is part of why I wanted to start this podcast, or what are we doing? We're rejuvenating because you were doing a podcast on this channel, right? But part of why I wanted to do it with you is because I knew I could learn some shit from you, right? But this is just anybody who's on the fence, or who maybe is like buying some of the propaganda about, oh, leftists are all
Just lost your sound. Yeah. What if I do this? What the hell? What the fuck? Yeah, it was like breaking up a little a few times, but then it just stopped this time. God, I don't know. Oh. No. Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I think this speaker might have just died.
Great.
Yeah, that's so annoying, dude. That is so annoying. Okay, well, all right. Well, I got to figure that out now. But wait, 1 second. Okay, anyway, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it later, right? But so part of why I wanted to do this show with you, right, was to learn some stuff from you, right? But I do feel like this type of stuff right here is this I feel like we need to abandon this whole, well, if you don't have the right opinion, you need to go KYS, right? Like I think that this does not serve us, and this is not attractive, and this just hurts the movement. And these same people glaze Zohran Mamdani, right? But Zohran Mamdani is effective because Zohran fucking
doesn't do this shit.
He doesn't do this shit, right? But he gets the most insane Islamophobia thrown at him. And yes, it is unfair. Yes, it should not be. And yes, these people should be better people, right? But the way in which he exudes kindness, and he exudes generosity, and he continues to smile, there's a reason he's our best soldier. Zohran is our best soldier. Okay, he gets it. He gets it,
Yep.
and people are starting to love him on like that 2008 Obama level, right? And
Yeah.
that is so much better for the movement, and that is so much better for the future of all leftists, all leftism in this country, right? Yeah. Versus not reading your replies. This is how I feel. Yes, every white American celebrity, dead or alive, nice or rude, rich or not, will be held to the same standard regarding Palestine because it's their country, money, and platform that has a direct effect on it. Idiots, right? Like it is just. You know, so
the Zionists and fascists. Yeah.
it's
like
so,
I here's the thing. I don't know if, like, maybe it would have done something, but I just don't know if Dolly Parton speaking out would have like drastically changed the outcome of Palestine.
I think that Dolly did good where she could, man. Like, I think
Right.
that Dolly did a good job where she could. And I think that as far as rich people go, I feel like if every rich person that ever fucking existed was half as generous and cared about people like Dolly did, this world would be a much better place for all of us. I think that Dolly should be your baseline for what a rich person was, right? There's that story that she could have been a billionaire, but she just gave away so much of her money that she never actually, crossed that billionaire line. Like, that is
Right. That's what you should
right
do.
the fuck on, right? And if you can't see that, if you are using this beloved icon who has written some generational fucking bangers, man, like, you're really gonna go at the woman who wrote fucking Jolene like that? You're really gonna you really got smoke for the woman who gave us Jolene? Okay? Fucking all-time classic banger, right? Like, grow the fuck up, right? So, meanwhile, right, he said, she's no Miss Rachel. This was Miss Rachel's fucking post. This is what Miss Rachel wrote, because Miss Rachel fucking gets it, my man. Miss Rachel fucking gets it.
Yeah.
And yeah, she gifted over 330 million books to kids. What have you done? Fucking Freddie G. You know what I tell you? You know what he did? He posted on his bio that he got 65 million views on social media. He was like, just that was in his Threads bio. And so that's what he wants you to know about, right? And it shows you kind of where he is versus where Dolly was, right?
Right. Yeah,
And,
that's the thing. It's like, I don't give a fuck what you think about, how much or how little Dolly Parton said or did for this or that cause. I don't give a fuck what you say about like Taylor Swift not doing enough to whatever. Like, you should be out there doing the shit. And if you want to attack someone, attack the directly evil people who are doing everything in their power to make these things keep happening. And stop worrying about fucking like slightly out of touch singers.
Yeah. Where were we going? Wait, okay. So this patent tweet right here, right? This patent tweet. This guy, I forgot, I clipped it off. I didn't include this part, but this is the guy he was comparing to, which is which is apt. Which was apt. The Menomina guy. Yes, the Menomina guy. So it reached Patton. You reached fucking Patton.
Yeah.
Right. And
good
so
job, dude.
this guy, while the rest of the world is trying to come together and mourn Dolly Parton, I guess, and just so posting that, and then so Freddie G did become Thread's main character for 48 hours until he deleted his account. Eventually, but for this beautiful 48-hour period, just I could not open my app without seeing either another Freddie double down or a million people shitting on Freddie. It was either a Freddie post being smug and dumb, or somebody just fucking shitting on him, and also pointing out that he is paid by Track APAC. Okay, which became another narrative of this whole thing, where he does make money off of APAC. And actually, so here, I'm gonna stop sharing this window for a second, because I got to bring the sound up. So don't talk, because the last time that happened, it was bad for both of us. So let me pull up. Actually, no, wait, I'm gonna pull it up like we normally do with the Chrome tab stuff. Okay, I'm figuring it out. We're figuring this out in real time. Okay, so this is, can we get this bigger?
Thinks that Dolly Parton has committed the gravest sin of all. She didn't say free Palestine. Bitch! Look, Orange Freddie G, not everyone can be lucky like you and make a career out of grifting, pushing disinformation. And while you were doing that, Dolly Parton was actually doing something good for the world. He couldn't even wait one day to tell us a celebrated female singer's biggest flaws. Because she's no Miss Rachel. Would one of those flaws have been the 332,411,218 books that have been given to kids so they could read? And it's been so successful that it spread to multiple countries. Would it have been the theme park she set up that's generated more than 23,000 jobs and over $1.8 billion annually? This, by the way, actually helps the local economy and the people who live nearby. Oh, and her company pays 100% of all the education costs if an employee wants to further their education. She started a foundation to lower the high school dropout rate. Don't forget all the help she's given to natural disaster victims, like these fire victims, or flood victims, or hurricane victims. Don't forget the money she donated that was allocated to food and grocery programs across the United States. I'm personally donating to help the development of the Moderna vaccine and helped fund pediatric infectious disease research. Wow, if only she'd spent more time on the internet in the comment section on Threads, she could have been a good person. Instead, she was a one-of-a-kind legend that we will never forget. You know what, though? Let's let Dolly say some parting words.
Go to hell!
Okay, okay. And here's the thing, right? This Caitlin Hennessy woman has had Freddie's number for a while. And I did scroll down Caitlyn's account. And Caitlyn is 100% an anti-left psyop. She is very much, if you go down her, if you scroll down her page on fucking on TikTok, she loves to punch left. She is which pisses me off, because I hate that you are giving her the moral high ground, bro. You are giving her the moral fucking high ground, right? And so here is her. So I scrolled down her page and I think this is her original tweet on Freddie. So she clocked Freddie when he was, again, here's the thing. I don't disagree with the sentiment, Orange Freddie G. I do think that Joe Biden sucks in a lot of ways, but also, why do we have to be nasty and cruel? Why is that part of it, right?
That I'm okay with.
How much does Track APAC pay Freddie G to be a miserable, sick human being?
I mean, here's the thing. I'm less mad about the Joe Biden shit. That doesn't bother me that much. But this is where I think he got on her radar.
Celebrating someone dying of cancer and calling it karma, even though his own father died of it. Right there in his bio, it says that he's a content creator for Track APAC. Doesn't actually say that he's paid. That's that ambiguity people love so they can claim they disclosed. I noticed he's all over interviewing these candidates, sometimes even wearing these really ugly Track APAC shirts while he's doing it. And I thought, who is this MAGA-coded jerk who even got banned from Twitter? Well, I did a little digging and found this reference from a podcast in 2018 that says that Orange Freddie G is Freddie Goldstein. I popped over to the FEC website and I found all these payments in the raw files for the Track APAC PAC. Yes, they do have a PAC. That's what they're fundraising for when they fundraise off of all those disinformation graphics. We don't know that this is Freddie Goldstein. Maybe it's a company called Goldstein. What we do know is that Track APAC paid Goldstein $600 on June 11th, the same day that Freddie G endorsed Aisha with Track APAC. Another $600 to Goldstein on June 16th, day after Freddie G endorsed Ari Elisa with Track APAC. Another $600 to Goldstein on June 22nd. 2nd, day after Freddie G endorsed Claire Valdez with Track APAC. Another 600 on June 23rd to Goldstein, the day after he pushed Chuck for Queens with Track APAC. And another 600 on June 30th, the day after he endorsed Malat Kuros with Track APAC. Hey, maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe it's not the same Goldstein. Or maybe it's more of an ongoing relationship. Who knows? It's not like there are any disclosures on any of the content, so maybe it's just all a coincidence.
So, okay, and I know that woman is evil, and I know that she's making a big deal about the Track APAC donations that he's getting, but I would probably bet money that she's getting some sort of chorus or chorus style back end. She's whoever is currently funding David Pakman, I assume, is funding her account, because if you scroll down her account, she is 100% doing the dirty work. So I'm sure that there is some dark money pack that is sending her money her way. I mean, I don't have any proof of it. This is all speculation on my part.
Right.
Do not sue me, lady, but I would not be surprised.
Right. And I don't like that stuff in general. Like, because I would defend Track APAC from some of the shit she said, but also, like, no, I don't love that they're paying a guy to, like, just be a nuisance. Like, that doesn't fucking help anyone. And it's like, well, disclose that you're getting paid. Like, let's not be fucking, let's not be as bad as the Democrats,
Yeah. And I mean, and here's the thing, right? Like, I think that even if there is a point to be made here, I think that we need to consider if the point is worth making. And the same way that I think that, because how do I want to say it? This dude goes super hard for Hasan, right?
Okay.
And we talk about Hasan derangement syndrome, right? Hasan derangement syndrome, and the fact that it's all a distraction, right? Why go out of your way to make a distraction? And why go out of the way to do stuff like this, where you are just turning off people? You were just turning off people, right?
That's one of the
ratioed.
Yeah, but that's one of the things about Hasan, honestly, is that his mission, and I think he succeeded in many ways, was to show like, hey, socialists can be just like normal, chill people. Like,
yeah, right. Where it's just, I'm a dude, bro, but I'm also socialist. It's possible, right? And then he just kept going. He just kept posting. I sent him like a private message, like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but we did a gig together at, I believe, Mohegan Sun years ago. I remember you from that gig, or a gig in that area that, I did a bunch. And just saying, like, hey, like, I like you, and I generally like your posts, and I generally like your content, but the Dolly shit just ain't it. And either didn't see it or just ignored it, because he continued tweeting. So then I got annoyed. I was still seeing him, and I didn't want to like block him, even though he's just at a certain point is just like, if my post's mad you sad, I'm sorry, but also you should just mute me and move on. I'm posting what I think, and it's based on facts. All my shit is facts, as Drake once said. I have a right to say my thoughts on page, assuming they don't violate some kind of rule. And making fans of a celeb upset isn't a rule that needs to exist when you can just mute. The war on terror killed
said it's
thousands.
A rule?
Yeah, I don't know. This right here was the moment where I was like, I think that he is having an emotional breakdown.
Yeah.
This reads to me, because a lot of his earlier stuff was a lot more, at the very least, thought out, even if it was stupid and dumb and wrong. But here, with the typos and just, it seems like he's just, and I've been there. I've been knee deep in a situation where I've got I got dozens of people mad at me, And, so I get it. I've been a controversial guy. I've said some controversial shit that, like, maybe thinking back, like, I could have worded that better. I could have been better about that, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I commented and I ratioed him slightly, but I think that by the time he deleted his account, it was higher. When I screenshotted, it was 27, but I had gotten into the 30s. And he hadn't grown past 17, I believe. But yeah, here 65 million views, huh? So but I said, the fact is, you're being insufferable and you're hurting your own cause here, man. I don't know if this is some like psychotic break you're having, but nothing you're doing is helping Palestine. Actual Palestinians have commented about how gross they think you're being. This is pure ego on your part. I think you should take a break for a minute and regroup. I say this as someone who genuinely enjoys your posts outside of these last 2 days. And then he deleted his threads.
Oh man.
I know. He deleted his threads. And then people clocked it. I can't believe you all successfully pushed Orange Freddie G off of threads. He deactivated his account. It became like a thing, right? And then just for example, Chuck Tingle, who is one of my heroes, I met him last year. This is how you react to this. Because Chuck Tingle is leftist as fuck. If you ever see any of his posts or have read any of his books, he's very queer and very leftist. But again, just writes this whole thing about kindness, about kindness is the most radical. We talk about Zoran, right? One of his defining features is his kindness, and it's honestly something that like I want to be better about, because I know that I can be an asshole, and sometimes I can revel in being. We were all. I mean, here's the thing: we're stand-up comedians. We were all bullied as children. We wouldn't be stand-up comedians if we weren't bullied as children. So I get it.
Oh yeah.
I get it, man. But it is just you are representing, you are in some small part representing a movement, and to just be such a loud cunt about this, just such a loud piece of shit. And then you have a lot of people commenting and telling you like, this ain't it. Like, I sent him that message a good 24 hours before I commented on his post, because I was hoping that like maybe I can get a dialogue started with him. Yeah. And if he had responded to me, maybe we wouldn't be doing this fucking segment. But it just was not it. And this is Black Girl in Maine, who was amazing to follow during like the Graham Plattner shit, and looking forward to her coverage of Troy Jackson's shit in Maine. But again, just coming in with the, she was one of the people who, basically said, hey, there's a lot of shady shit that I don't like about Graham Plattner, but ultimately I have to hope that he wins this, regrettably, right? And then when all the shit came out, was very quick to be like, well, that sucks and he needs to drop out. But just I saw her commenting on it, and then just attributing it to his whiteness, which I mean, valid, right? Probably. It's there's shit I got to work on. There's certain internal biases that I need to work on in my life, right? None of us are perfect, right?
Yeah. And I'll just add to that like I think people hear stuff like that a lot of the time, and they go, oh, so you're saying white people are inherently bad or whatever. And it's like, well, no, that's why it's whiteness and not white people, because it's not that you're a defective person. It's that whiteness is a concept that was created as a racial dividing line, and being a part of that in-group and coming from, a lineage that was part of that in-group for generations, does result in you having certain blind spots and shit. So like, yeah, when people say that, or people say like we need to eradicate whiteness, It means let's get rid of this category ultimately, that all it does is it just functions as a mode of exclusion. That's what that means. Just an
I
aside,
agree
because I know people. Yeah.
I agree with you, Joe. We need a white person genocide. I agree. We need to get rid of all of them. They're
Great
no good.
replacement.
I'm with you. You, me, and Tucker. We're all on the fucking same page. But but okay. And so here's this Fantano vote tickled me, right? Even when Kim Jong-un is on higher moral ground than you, Freddie,
right?
Maybe it's time to shut the fuck up, right?
Yeah.
And so, to his credit, he did not delete his Twitter, right? But he posted this on Twitter earlier today. I saw. So this is from earlier today. But he only posted it on Twitter, not on Threads, where his shit was going hella viral, like mega. Like I don't think his shit was doing any bigger than it was on Threads. And it was thought about this more and read posts from organizers and people who live in the South. And for me, I learn a lot by critiquing people like Dolly Parton. But the way to teach others was to collect my thoughts and post something thought out days later, and not what I did. Oh, you fucking think? You think, Freddie? And then it was which was tweet a bunch of stuff that made sense to me but would turn more people off than teach them. Lesson learned. If I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. This doesn't apply to anyone who used this issue to make bad faith defenses of Israel. You still discuss me, which valid on your side on that part, right? You know,
this is pretty good.
Preach, Queen. I mean, here's the thing. I'm glad that he posted it today, 3 hours before I screenshotted this and sent it to you. But that's what I was telling you to do a day ago.
Right.
This is what I was telling you to do, like when it was like in its first, when you were like 20% into the total posts you would eventually make about it.
Yeah.
You know, like this is what I was trying to tell you, dog.
Right. But if he was in the apex of the psychosis at that moment, and maybe he needed to hear it from like a greater number of people, and it's like, that's impressive, though. I can hand it to him on that. He came around. Yeah,
I'm glad that he came around. I'm glad he said it. And and so this is just we're not going to play this video, but this is just another TikTok person farming him for content. But I do actually hear we're gonna pull this up in a way that I can play the audio without you echoing through it. So this is a clip that somebody found of Dolly. And let's listen to what she says. Let's give Dolly the last word of this segment.
I'm concerned about humanity and civilization, and I just don't get it. Why grown people are allowing so many things to happen that don't have to be happening if we would just try a little harder instead of just grouping up in little pockets here and there and just, like my mouth's bigger than your mouth, my bomb's bigger than your bomb, my daddy's bigger than your daddy kind of attitude. I just am the kind of person I feel for everybody. I feel for myself as well. I want to stay around. I want to have a world to live in.
I feel like that comes from your sort of spirituality, your faith. I've heard you talk about that before.
I just really feel like we could be more caring, more giving, more decent. I'm concerned about
just.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, part of that is being a little compassionate. Like, I know it's hard, and it's not that like everyone who like sucks deserves all your sympathy, but like part of what she's saying is like, having a little more compassion for people who might not be exactly where you are on, like, oh, well, I've come to this understanding of Palestine and all this, and it's like, good. That's really good. More people need to, but like, you haven't lived the same life as everybody else. You don't know why they're not saying anything. You don't know what, like, whatever. And it's especially, if it's someone like Dolly Parton, who like clearly made quite an effort in many different areas. And I don't know why the fuck she didn't say anything. Maybe she should have, and she probably should have, but like, are you gonna like die on the hill? Right.
It's not like she didn't know about it. It's just, I think that she had the areas where she knew she could make an impact. And she made the impact in those areas. And, you hear these stories, right? That her limo driver was trans. And she stood 10 toes down and made sure that person had an amazing life, right? And had this person, I think since like what, the 70s or 80s or whenever, right?
Wow.
Like had this person for decades and was trans back when it was like you go to certain areas and you get like the crap beat out of you, which still happens today, but on a lesser scale, right? And so just like to the ego of you in your selfish little world, in your social media obsessed little fucking world, right? To sit there and with your full fucking throat say, she didn't do enough. She
Yeah.
didn't do as
Yeah.
much as I'm doing. Me
Right.
with my 65 million views on social media, right?
Yeah.
I'm more fucking I'm more moral, and I do more because I post the words free Palestine on the internet sometimes,
Right.
right?
Right.
Where it's
Yeah.
just what have you actually what have you done that isn't self-serving? Even the Palestine stuff, the way that you are doing it, it is serving yourself, right? Whereas with Dolly, you see all these moments and all this evidence where the shit that she did was not serving herself. She could have been a billionaire. She could have been way richer than she was, right? But she didn't, because she was heavily interested in serving other people, right? I mean, and I'm sure that you go into a lot of these things, and I've seen people poke holes in the, I there's somebody in the Shushies group who their mother worked at one of Dolly's parks, or Dolly's Park or whatever, and had a bad story from that. Right. And I don't know how
Yeah.
much of that this person blames Dolly specifically. I don't know how much of like Dolly is to blame, or it's
Yeah.
just
I
like,
mean,
well,
she's a capitalist. Don't forget,
he's a
like,
capitalist, right?
it's
He's a
yeah.
capitalist, right? Or it's just the nature of capitalism that
Yeah.
ultimately hurt your family member, and Dolly was just participating in it, right? But I think that when you sum up the grand total of good things that Dolly did, I think that you're going to find that far outweighs what this selfish fucking millennial who is terminally online and counts how many fucking social media views they get, right? I think that we're going to find out that she actually had a far greater impact than you selfish person on your phone all the time, right? And it is just so obnoxious and annoying, and hurts the movement and hurts our perception, and just isn't a good fucking thing, and I don't like it. It pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah. I mean, I have people in my life who are not where I would like them to be on the Israel thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's, you got to weigh these things. Like, I think that there is probably a certain level that someone could get to, that I would be like, maybe not going to hit you up anymore. but
Yeah.
but I do understand that, like, people grew up in different time periods than I did, and they were getting different information, and they didn't have Twitter or TikTok. They didn't have Hasan to talk to me about this. The books I've read hadn't been written yet. I know people whose families are from Israel. It's like, this is a totally different fucking life than I've led, and I've had conversations with these people, and now and then I'll send a video or something, just like, hey, if you want to check this out, it's just like, that is part of being compassionate, is just being like, okay, I really hate some of where this person stands on things, but like if I want these, and this is, this is part of the like whiteness conversation too, like Palestinians can't always go up to people and say, I'm going to educate you on this and be listened to and heard and respected. So I try to, use that space that I occupy as like okay, I hear you. And, but here's something you might not have been aware of. And that's, that's all it has to be. You're not going to fucking change the world just all on your own. So, you don't have to, but, yeah, it's that is part of being compassionate too. Unfortunately, it's it's not always fun, but
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, right? A couple of years ago, I was really mean to my mom about some of the Trump shit. I was just really fed up. I was really annoyed. Especially like kind of post January 6th. I was very, very angry and I needed a conduit for my anger. And I took it out on my mother because, and I was very vicious to her. Maybe you look at the grand total of things that she's endorsed. I joked last week when we did the Alex Jones segment, right, that part of the reasons that I can't love Alex Jones as much as parts of me want to love Alex Jones, right, is because he convinced my mother for a couple of years that Sandy Hook never happened, right? And I had a moment a couple of years ago where I was like, it is not serving me and is not serving my relationship with my mother, because my mother is human and she is fallible and she is doing her best, and as much as she is willing to endorse some of the most brain dead dipshit things I've ever heard, right, she's still a human being, and on some level she is a victim of propaganda. She's a victim.
Right.
And I've tried to explain to her, like, you sit at the end of a shit spout. There is a shit spout that there are multiple shit spouts, right? And shit just flows to you. And the goal is to convince you that people who are not the problem are the problem. Literally at Thanksgiving dinner a few years back, she looked at me and without any sense of irony or sarcasm just said, I feel so bad for straight white men in this country. They have it has never been a worse time to be a straight white man. And she was getting emotional. And I was like, Mom, as a straight white man, let me tell you, I don't feel like there's any place I can't go or any single thing that I cannot do. The only thing stopping me is my laziness and ineptness personally.
Yeah. Well, or also like finances. Because that's the thing is that's really hurting white men and everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
And my lack of finance, right? So do not feel bad for me, mother. Feel bad for your damn self, because your rights and the rights of your daughter, your only daughter, are being stripped away as we speak, right? Because it was real close to the whole, Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade shit, right? So so I came to the epiphany, not epiphany, but I came to just like, I came around where I was like, I need to be kinder and nicer, because if I just am just super leftist and super mean to her, then she is only gonna be fall more victim to the side of the Nazis, versus if I am just retain my leftist ideals, but I am also kind to her and try to whenever possible patiently explain concepts to her, right?
Yeah.
Maybe some of that shit will reach through, and to her credit, she is very much off the Trump train. But that has just made her fall further into the clutches of Candace Owens, which is
great.
a problem. I've tried to send her some Hasan stuff, but now she won't watch it. And I tried to show her some Kyle Kalinske. I was like, Kyle Kalinske is like kind of like might be catnip to my mom. My mom loves a strong white guy yelling shit at you. So
Yeah. I wonder if she'd be into like breaking points where it's like, okay, at least there's a Republican in the room. Like,
yeah, maybe,
listen. Yeah.
Wait, that dude's a Republican? I didn't even know that. I've watched them a bunch. It never even
It's
occurred to me.
it's like half and half. It's like the main hosts are like there's Ryan
Crystal
Grimm
Ball, right?
and Ryan Grimm and
know
Crystal Ball are like the leftists, and then Sagar and Emily are the right wingers.
I didn't even know they were right wing.
Yeah, they're
I know
like,
Ryan Grimm, the leftist.
yeah, like Emily and Sagar, like I'll give them credit for being a little more like, you know, journalistic and being able to like be an analyst without like always injecting their politics. They're also not Trump supporters, I don't think so. Like that, you know, it's a little bit different.
I
But
imagine it'd be pretty awkward if they were.
yeah. But yeah, you know, this reminded me of Nelson Mandela, because I listened to an audiobook about his time in prison, and that dude was and Mahmoud Khalil too. I'll get to him, but like Nelson Mandela was like extremely positive. He was in prison for almost 30 years, I think, and he maintained like a very cordial relationship with his prison guards and like the opposition leaders and shit, and like and then and after he got out, it was like dude was a Marxist. Like people don't even know this, but like he was a fucking full-on communist, and he was like,
I mean, that's because that's because the non-Marxist version of him died in prison, and then the Marxist version, the alternate universe Marxist version, was the one that lived on, and that's the one we remember now, right? And also Berenstain Bears was spelled different.
Yes. Although people don't know what the African National Congress got up to. They were pretty brutal. But when Nelson Mandela was not in prison. But yeah, he also worked closely with you know, foreign leaders of all kinds. Like American leaders fucking loved him, but he was also close with Fidel Castro and shit. And when he was called out on it, he would be like, you know, your enemies are not my enemies. That's just not how it's going to be. And it's like he fucking ended the apartheid. Like it's like, you know, you can achieve amazing things. And this is not to be like, like violence is never the answer, and you got to be like Gandhi. And it's like no, you like, there are times when you have to like defend yourself and defend your movement and like whatever. But yeah, I'm reading. I was lucky to get an advance copy of Mahmoud Khalil's book, No Land to Stand On: Notes from Detention. And it's all about, dude. It is an amazing book. It is living history. It is like, he is a fantastic writer. But I'm just listening. You know, I'm reading about him being taken out of his apartment building, his 8-month pregnant wife right there, just watching it happen. He can't, you know, he's not allowed to make phone calls to his wife or lawyer. And these fucking like, you know, chuds are dragging him around and into, you know, cars and planes and all this shit. And he's like, just like polite and chill through the whole thing. He's just able to maintain composure. And it's like, I don't know, man. I feel it makes me feel like an asshole a little bit. I'm like, this dude is able to do that, and I'm angry. Like,
I mean,
I can't hold my shit together. Like,
I mean, and it's not fair. It's not fair.
Oh yeah.
It's not fair, but it's just the reality of the situation. It just sucks. I mean, and you have every right to be angry, but I think that, you know, if you really care about this movement, and you really care, you know, especially like right now, right? It's just, you having like 10 posts on your page, 9 of them are fuck Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton sucks. Like, you are an idiot for mourning Dolly Parton. And the 10th post is Hasan Piker rules, right? You are just hurting Hasan Piker in a moment where it is, he really can't afford it, right? Where it's just everything.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Do I think that Hasan helps himself sometimes? As funny as it was to watch him sing along to "We Are Charlie Kirk," right? Is it like also like maybe like with the level of scrutiny that you're under right now, maybe that's as funny as it was, right? Maybe it's just like kind of like the wrong thing to be doing right now, right? But so I don't think Hasan helps himself sometimes with the way that he phrases things, and and some, but Hasan is Hasan, whatever. I mean,
I do admire on some level that he's like, I'm doing my thing, like no matter what scrutiny I'm under.
I mean, and part of me is like, hell yeah, right? But also part of me is like, I also want to see some of these people, win their shit, right? And I think that Abdul being forced to put out a statement against you, even if it, as stupid as it was, right? Or did it come out that he was like coerced or some shit, right? Or he was lied to, or he was, something like that.
Yeah,
right?
well, I think he's under a lot of pressure. I think he's been meeting with certain politicians in Michigan who are like holding an endorsement over his head, and they're like, well, maybe you shouldn't.
That's what it felt like. It felt like this is just his excuse. It's just he's been waiting to condemn Hasan for something. It just had to be for something, because there's certain people that are like, I'm not gonna back you until you tell this guy to go fuck himself, right? Like, I do think like sometimes I watch a little bit of Vosh, right? And Vosh, I was watching Vosh the night that Abdul squeaked by and won. But the first thing Vosh said is like, well, this changes everything. I thought he was going to win a blowout. He won by 1% of the vote. And I think that he can't campaign with Hasan Piker. He's now a weak general candidate. I mean, and here's the thing, we'll be able to, I think with hindsight being 2020, I think we'll be able to see that, right? Anyway, so this kind of shit, I just think you represent the movement, in a way. And I really think that it is just, it sucks. It's not fair, but also like, I don't know, think about the way that you're representing your values with the, and it's something that I think we all can think about, can stand to think about sometimes. Right. But really though, it just, I don't know. It really bothered me. It really was annoying. And then just to see the double and tripling down on shit just was like, what are you doing, man?
Still watching Vosh, huh?
I watch him sometimes. I think he's very intelligent. I don't like that he loves the R word. Like he says that he leans into the R slur.
Were you aware of the scandal? The folder?
I mean, here's the thing. Listen, man, it is that is that guy's shit. All right. But he is also just, the way that he explains shit is very, very interesting. And I flip between like multiple channels. I flip between.
I used to be pretty into Vosh too. I mean, he's got a way with words. I think he's got style.
He was like the only person at that point in the night. He was the only person still, because I had like slipped. I'd gone between multiple streams, and a couple people were just like, "I'm giving the fuck up. I'm going to bed." And he was one of the actual like people still live. But anyway. Listen, I also won't defend. You want me to, you give me the gun, you gotta,
Do you condemn Vosh?
Yes, I condemn Vosh immediately, without question. I want your endorsement. So if you want me to fucking kick him to the curb, I'm going to do that immediately. He does not represent my values as a candidate for office. But yeah, so anyway. I know that so we're almost 2.5 hours, which is very long for us.
I gotta get to bed, honestly.
Okay. So we had a Reggie Watts section planned. This went way over, which I assumed it might. But so anybody here still holding on for the Reggie Watts segment? Let's just do the Cliff Notes version. Reggie Watts is a monster. He allegedly, or he's been very vocal about his ketamine use over the years.
Okay.
But Rolling Stone did an amazing deep dive, an amazing article. It's paywalled, but if you search deep enough, you can find it archived places, and it's worth a full read. It is worth a full read. It is long as shit. It's like a novella, but it is horrific, and there's going to be a podcast about it someday that is going to be top notch. But basically, he was dating a woman, and the article basically implies that he used the power imbalance of their relationship and the fact that she wanted to be with him. She was like on track to be a lawyer and stuff, and then after meeting him, she kind of became a glorified groupie, and she got hip.
Lost your sound again. Yeah, I can't hear you anymore. Can you hear me?
What's going on? I can hear you now.
Oh, I lost. Okay, yeah, I lost your sound there.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That
So
was,
anyway, so
okay. I don't know what's
track
going
down
on,
the
but-
Reggie Watts Rolling Stone article. Just track down
Okay.
the stream is telling me to get the fuck off. But yeah, track down the Reggie Watts Rolling Stone article. It is fascinating. It is fascinating.
Yeah. Well, we can get into it next time, maybe if
Maybe there's developments, but he's been dropped for a bunch of festivals. They replaced his theme song on Comedy Bang Bang. He is very much being banished to the Shadow Realm. So,
jeez.
Yes,
could people
indeed.
stop it? Could people stop being monsters? It'd be nice.
I don't think ever. I think never ever. Anyway, ready to sign
right.
off 2.5 hours into this thing.
Thanks for sticking around, everybody. We had a few of you here.
Thank you for TechCast.
Yeah.
I think TechCast was the only human, and thank you to all the bots. All right.
Yeah, appreciate it. We'll see you next time, Thursday at 7:30.
Sweet.
Bye.